So this is a part one of this series of video tutorials on how to prototype IoT with JavaScript with Johhny-Five. Woo! And my name is Tomomi, and I'm a front-end engineer. So naturally, my choice of language is JavaScript and Node.js. And I don't have any background in electrical engineering, and I don't write any C. But today, I'm going to use Arduino because I'm going to use JavaScript with this. So usually, when you want to program Arduino, you gotta use Sketch, which is C-based. But I want to use JavaScript. So I'm going to use Johhny-Five. That's an open source JavaScript robotics framework. Yeah, it sounds pretty awesome, right? It is cool. And it works with Arduino and any Arduino compatible boards. And if you use I/O plugins, that works with like some other boards like Raspberry Pi and such. So let's get started with Johhny-Five. First, you need to download Arduino IDE. So go to arduino.cc/software and download the IDE. So you need this only for the first time, for the first setup. Then click Tools and make sure that your right board, in this case it's Arduino or Uno, is connected to the right port. So I see this on dev/cu.usb modem. So that's the right one. Let's install standard formatter. So go to File, Examples, Formatter. Choose standard formatter here. So click this button here to upload this to your board. Once it's done uploading, you don't need this IDE anymore. You can just close it up and you no longer need it. So when you code, you can use any IDEs of your choice. Alright, now let's do the fun part. So first thing you need to do is blinking LED. So here's what you need. So your Arduino Uno with a USB cable attached to your computer and 2 jump wires. I use black and red for the convention, and 1 resistor, LED, and a breadboard. So this is an LED, it's light emitting diode. So you'll notice there are 2 legs. One is longer than others. So one longer leg is called anode, it's a positive end, and the shorter one is cathode, it's a negative end. You might forget now, but I'll mention it later because you have to know. So the LED comes with a variety of colors like red, orange, and purple, just like spectrum rainbows. And you need to know that those LED voltage drop. It's safe to assume that 1.9 volt for red, and maybe around 2 for orange and yellow, and maybe 3.2 volt for the violet. This little funky looking thing is called resistors. So it has wires, lit wires sticking on an end with some 4 or 5 color bands. So in an electronic circuit, resistors are used to limit the current flow. So if you supply too much voltage, an LED can't pass so much current, so you will burn this LED. So you have to use the right resistance. So to calculate resistance, you have to remember Ohm's law. So how to calculate resistance? So R equal to V divided by I. So in this case, V source voltage, which is the voltage coming from your power source, an Arduino, and minus forward voltage, that's LED voltage drop, then divided by the current through an LED. And in this scenario, the source voltage is 5. That's the 5 volts coming from Arduino Uno. And the forward voltage is, I'm using 1.9 to be safe. You don't know which color of LED you have, so it's safe to assume you have red. So let's use 1.9. And divided by 0.02, that's a 200 milliamp, and it's 0.02 amp. And this number comes from the data sheet that comes with the LED when you purchase. So that yields 155 ohm. So you need something, you need a resistor at least 155. So to be safe, let's use something slightly bigger. Maybe I'm using like 220 or 230 today. So here's how you see how to read the color codes in resistor. So each color, so you might have 4 bands or 5 bands, but each color has a meaning. Let's say like black is 0, brown is 1, red is 2, and such. So for example, when you have a color band like yellow, purple, red, and gold, that means yellow means 4 and purple means 7, so that's 47. And the next band is a multiplier. So red is 2 means you get 10 to the power of 2, which is 100. And the last one is a tolerance, so it's a 5% tolerance. So yellow, purple, red, and gold is 47 multiplied by 100, which is 10 to the power 2. It's 4700. Now you know you have 4.7k ohms. Let's build the circuit now. Alright, so this is a breadboard. I'm using the mini breadboard today. You might have one of those like 400 pin breadboards. The difference is that the mini breadboard doesn't have the power rail on both sides. First, I'm going to use this red wire. I'm using this red wires for power. And now LED. So as I told you earlier, the LED has 2 legs. You need to take longer legs to connect to this red wire here. So you can put it anywhere on this row that connects to this red wire, like this. Now the short leg is adjacent row here, so I am going to put the resistor. I'm using 230 ohm. This row here. At the other end of this resistor, you put the black wire on the same row. Okay, let's wire it up to an Arduino Uno. The black wire goes to ground, and red wire goes to 5 volt. So now, yes, you turn LED on. But my hello world doesn't end here. Now you have to turn this LED on programmatically. So you have to understand this Arduino GPIO pins. That's a programmable pins. So we got a digital I/O pins. We have 14 pins from 0 to 13 here. We are going to blink LED. You know, the digital means 1 or 0, or on and off. So to blink LED, you just need to toggle those 2 states. So we are using digital I/O pins here. So now we are using Johhny-Five to do so. So now you are going to take this red wire off to 5 volts. So now LED is no longer on, and I move it on to this 13. Is it 13? No, this is 13. 13. Remember, we are using pin 13 now. We are going to use this number when we program. So now it's a coding part of Hello World. So on your computer, create some development directly, like anything like Hello World, maybe CD Hello World, then install Johhny-Five by using npm. So on npm, install Johhny-Five. Ta-da! Then this is the entire code you need. So let's create some file like blink.js, and you have this code here. So basically, you require Johhny-Five and instantiate something like board. So when the board is on, it's calling the ready event, blink the LED. So in this case, we're using pin 13. So that's why we have 13 here. And LED.blink and 500. So let's use 500 millisecond interval. So let's run the code. Node blink.js. So now Arduino is starting. So when the board is ready, oh yes, now the Johhny-Five code is running. So you see LED is blinking in 500 millisecond intervals. Cool, so now it's working. Alright, cool, so you just finished your Hello World. So this is the end of part 1. So next time, I want to make this into the smart device. So we are using PubNub to make it an IoT. So see you the next time.